What's up, world? This is Alexander PlayTime Woods of PlayTimeCares.com giving you a full NXT recap. NXT exclusively on the WWE Network. This one is NXT 348. It's Wednesday, August 10, 2016. Full Sail University, Orlando, Florida. Tom Phillips, Corey Graves are your commentators. This show actually started off with Bobby Roode coming out of the general manager's William Regal's office. And William Regal's like, is there anything else that could be done for you? Bobby Roode was like, nope, I'm straight. William Regal's like, okay, I need to go to the ring to do a contract signing, so talk to you later. Bobby Roode was like, hey, completely okay. Do what you have to do. And as William Regal walking away, he's rubbing his hands together. He's like, oh yeah, things are going to be great. So they cut away and you see William Regal in the ring. And he called out both competitors for the Women's Championship NXT title. So first he called out Bayley, and then he called out Asuka, the Women's Champ. And Bayley grabs the mic and she pretty much says, look, I wasn't prepared to actually face you the first time that we actually fought. But I fought the best. She started naming all the people like Charlotte, Sasha Banks. You know, that's the WWE's a former and current women's champion. You know, Nia Jax. She started naming a list of the people that she's faced and she's had to overcome in order to become the women's champion. It's like, look, I want my title back, and I'm going to take my title from you. And she signs a contract. Asuka looks at him and is like, look, you're not ready. But, you know, when it's all said and done, I do respect you. You won't be able to take this title. And she extended her hand to her, and Bayley gets really upset. He was like, the last time you was in a contract signing in this ring, you got laid out. If you don't want that to happen again, then you better take your hand back and sign that contract. Asuka was like, all right. So she signed the contract. And Bayley was in her face, and then Bayley gave her a shoulder bump. And no, Asuka tried to shake her hand again. Bayley slapped her hand, then gave her a shoulder bump and left the ring. And she turned around and Asuka was just smiling at her. So she ran back in the ring and got in Asuka's face. And Asuka stayed smiling at her and just left out the ring, just holding the title above her head. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be excellent if Bayley decided to have a heel turn. It would be great to see what kind of impact that would have on the WWE universe and the NXT universe specifically. I'm not sure if Bayley has it in her. She's such a face. So that's how the contract signing went. Then they showed the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering in the background, and it looked like they were ready to start some action. And then they gave a shout out to Of Mice and Men for their official soundtrack for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. What's the name of that song? Relentless. Your first match, you have the Author of Pains versus Rob Kimball and Adrian Nails. This match was utter dominance. I mean, those boys tried against Authors of Pain, but it was a one-sided affair. I'm not going to even bore you with the details. Long story short, you had that modified Russian leg sweep with a clothesline tag tandem move. It ended the match, and they ended it quickly. This match was too short and was one-sided. So this match was only a 2 out of 5, just an average match, just showcasing how dominant the Authors of Pain are to set it up for a bigger tag team, bigger picture. So the Authors of Pain was starting to pick up, you know, Kimball and Nails again to beat them up more. And then for some reason, TM61 came out and attacked the Authors of Pain. Crowd goes crazy. And then Authors of Pain completely just destroyed TM61. It wasn't even pretty. The boys look unstoppable. So, hey, TM61 got beat up as well. So they cut away to Shinsuke Nakamura being interviewed. And they asked him, hey, look, Shinsuke, you've been threatened by Samoa Joe. He's threatened to take you out. even before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Are you concerned? Shinsuke like, nah, look, hey, I'm not hard to find. Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. I'll go find Joe. Then he walks away saying, Joe, Joe. Your second match was Andrade Cien Almas versus Angelo Dawkins. This match had a lot of potential to it. I'm not going to front on you, not going to lie about that. But the match was too short. So this match was actually a 2 out of 5. It was just an average match. I mean, it started off, it was an aerial assault and agility attack from Mr. Cien, Mr. 100. But it made it too one-sided. Angelo Dawkins have a lot to offer. They should have let him just go ahead and battle it out, Lucha Libre style. Angelo, Mr. AD has that in him. You know what I'm saying? So, but they didn't do that. I mean, that double knees followed by a DDT just ended that match really, really quickly. So, like I said, 2 out of 5, too short of a match. Then Bobby Roode music hit, glorious, and he comes out to the ring and was like, hey, I talked to Mr. Regal, the GM, and I told him that NXT TakeOver 2 Brooklyn needed something glorious to happen in order to ensure that it was a great pay-per-view. So, with that said, for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, I will be your opponent. You have to face me, the glorious one. So the crowd, they like that one. So, hey, that match is set. And then they gave a shout out to Banks and Steel for giving an official theme for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, Giant. And then Austin Aries is shown in the office with the general manager, William Regal, and he tells him, hey, look, man, everybody has a match. I mean, Bobby Roode just been in NXT for 5 seconds, and he already have a match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Why don't I have a match? And William Regal's like, you are most definitely right. Your match is going to be against the person you've been avoiding for a couple of weeks now. You have a match against No Way Jose. Austin Aries like, I wasn't avoiding him. He's not on my level, so I just didn't even bother with him. But, hey, at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, I show everybody that he truly wasn't on my level. Okay, third match. You have Billie Kay versus Liz Morgan. I would be the first to admit they had a decent skill set on display for the match. They really did. Both of them actually did things that, like, wait a minute, these are some decent athletes. Now, we're not talking about Simone Biles, gymnast type athletes, but these ladies did their thing on the mat. These weren't just divas or old. These are actually skilled individuals. But my goodness, the match was too slow. It's like they were thinking, then reacted. Look, we need you to have fluid motions. We need you to go through your whole routine at a quicker pace. So all in all, the match was just too slow. Therefore, it made it an average match, just a 2 out of 5. Billie Kay ended up getting the win. She put a big boot to the face of Liz Morgan and ended that one. Then they did a recap of the match between Gargano and Ciampa for the Cruiserweight Classic. And who won? You need to go to the WWE Network and watch the match and see for yourself. So they cut away to Gargano and Ciampa in William Regal's office. And William Regal's like, hey, y'all had an excellent match for the Cruiserweight Classic, but I hope that the tension isn't still there between you two. And the reason why I hope that is because at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, you have a tag team title match against the Revival. And of course, they both was like, nah, we're straight. We're brothers. We chose to be brothers. So families fight and families stick together. So we'll be ready for our tag team title opportunity at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Then NXT let you know once again that Ember Moon is coming August 20th, 2016. your fourth match, you had Tucker Knight and Patrick Clark versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. In GNC, you know, Gargano and Ciampa, they pretty much did a tag team maneuver clinic on Knight and Clark. So it was a one-sided affair, but the crowd was really into it. So I would give them the extra point from being just an average match to this actually being a good match, because the crowd actually got behind GNC. They really do like that tag team. GNC, in normal fashion, they ended it with, you know, a double kick to the head. One is a kick, the other one is a knee to the head of the opponent. Like I said, that match was a 3 out of 5. It's a good match. And then they cut away to doing Hideo Itami recap of his match from last week and just his return overall. And then they let you know that next week, Hideo will actually have a match on the NXT. So look for that next week. Then they cut away to an interview with Mojo Rawley about having to face Samoa Joe tonight. And, you know, he said, look, you know, I'm gonna bring the fight to Joe tonight. You know, tonight it's not about being hype. Tonight it's about me getting mean. Before the final match happened, they wanted to showcase some of the matches that were going to be at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. So they just did a little, you know, quick recap of those. And your fifth and final match was Mojo Rawley versus Samoa Joe. Mojo Rawley came out really on fire, got the crowd behind him 100%. He was giving it to Joe at the beginning. He beat up Joe, beat him in the ring, then start beating up on him outside of the ring. Made one mistake, tried to do a shoulder tackle on Joe on the steel steps. Samoa Joe sidestepped it and took out a lot of steam of Mojo Rawley. Samoa Joe got him back in the ring, and Mojo Rawley still had a lot of fight, made a second mistake, and got caught up in a Samoa Joe spike. You knew what was coming next. Hey, Samoa Joe put on that Kahina clutch, and Mojo was forced to tap. I think because of the fact that Mojo came with so much ferocity and just so much fire, Samoa Joe decided to put the submission hold on him again and refused to release it until Shinsuke Nakamura music hit. All of the security cars just start running down the ramp, and they got it in between Shinsuke, and then decided that they all needed to hold Joe back. And due to that, Shinsuke decided that he was going to taunt Joe. So he started doing stuff like honking his nose and saying, come on, you know, stuff like that. And Samoa Joe is just getting more and more angry. Hey, Samoa Joe and Mojo Rawley put on an excellent match. It was a 3 out of 5. It was a good match. Subscribe to PlayTimeCares.com. I do more than just wrestling recaps. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. I am always Playtime Cares. Subscribe at PlayTimeCares.com. I do more than just wrestling recaps. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Find me on social media. I'm always Playtime Cares.